try that too.
I have to go old school today too because I've got it.
Oh, there's fun.
Times. Super fun. scoot this over. I will, oh, shit, I got it. She's still not pushing on me so much.
Are you still good to do these?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you want them on your side?
It doesn't matter. We'll just leave it there for now. I actually don't know if that's the right page for that. Ow. Haha, it is. Page 340. Page 340.
Eve duet Hashem besimcha, Eve duet Hashem besimcha. Oh, the fun of beer nana, the fun of beer nana. Eve duet Hashem besimcha, Eve duet Hashem besimcha. Oh, the fun of beer nana, the fun of beer nana. Yadadai, 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 Eve duet Hashem besimcha, Eve duet Hashem besimcha. Oh, the fun of Birana, the fun of Birana. Eve duet Hashem besimcha, Eve duet Hashem besimcha. Oh, the fun of Birana, the fun of Birana. Yadadai, 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 yadadai. Eve duet Hashem besimcha, Eve duet Hashem besimcha. Oh, the fun of Birana, the fun of Birana. Eve duet Hashem besimcha, Eve duet Hashem besimcha. Oh, the fun of Birana, the fun of Birana. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's great to be back here with you all. For those who I haven't met yet, my name is Julie Fischbach. I'm a rabbinical student in Los Angeles, joining you all for the third Friday every month. So excited to be here with your cantor and mine, Cantor Jenna Sagan. We're really, really happy to be able to welcome in Shabbat with everyone. We're going to continue our service with our candle lighting. And I would like to invite up Faith Hirschler in honor of her birthday.
Seriously, I like trick candles tonight.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who handles us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. 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 We take all of that light that we've gathered in, you may be seated, we take all of that light that we've gathered in and we let it turn into a little bit of joy, which is much needed right now. So we're going to build up that joy with Lecha Dodi on page 20.
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
Lecha Dodi, Ligrad Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela.
Shamor וזכור ודיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתחילה.
Lecha Dodi, Ligrad Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. וראש מקדם אסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבת תחילה.
Lecha Dodi, Ligrad Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela.
Verse 5. He toreri, ki vaorechu mi ori. Uri, shittaberi, kevod Adonai alaich nigla.
Lecha Dodi, Ligrad Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela.
We rise to greet the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha utzola. Toch emunei am segula, oy We continue with Baruch Hu, which can be found on page 28 as we remain standing. Page 28. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
You may be seated. We turn the page to 30, and we notice that as our seasons change, we become more aware that it's getting darker earlier and earlier. Our calendar is steering us right towards Hanukkah in a few weeks, where we push back this darkness with a little extra light in our lives. But until we get to that point, we acknowledge that in the Jewish tradition in ancient times, the spooky midnight feeling was felt during dusk, when the colors start mixing, when it gets darker, when we become less aware of the world around us, or less aware visually of what's around us, and our other senses are heightened. And so we have these blessings that mirror the setting sun, bringing in light, acknowledging the cycles of time, and pushing us a little closer towards love, towards the Shema. So you can start praying at your own pace if you would like. You can take a moment to read the translation of the prayer at the bottom of 30. You can wrestle with the Hebrew, with the poetry on page 31, acknowledging that the world has these cycles. ומעביר יום ומבין לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, Adonai Tzvaot Shemo. We're at the bottom of the Hebrew. El Chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'aravim. We turn the page. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, amchav Torah u'mitzvot. We're loved in so many different ways. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, v'hem nageh yomam ve'layla, ve'ahat v'chal tesir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed.
join me in chanting Ve'ahavta, page 36, page 3-6.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
We turn to page 39 and we read together the English at the top. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Mi chamocha ha'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osei fele, mi chamocha ha'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. As we turn to Hashkivenu, I want to point out towards the bottom of the Hebrew, the line Haparei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, spread over us a sukkah of peace. And again, as we get towards Hanukkah and we bring in more and more light, we also add in new metaphors, different ways of describing how we long to be sheltered. On Hanukkah, in Ma'ot Tzor specifically, we view God as a rock of ages and mostly as a sheltering tower, a force of strength that keeps us safe. But we don't stop saying the Hashkivenu liturgy, and I think that's really key, that even in times where we crave more security, more strength, we can't lose sight of the vulnerability and the necessity of the sukkah, that we have a structure that allows us to still see the stars. Even in its fragility, it allows us to see the beauty of the world. And that's something that on Hanukkah, when we think about our force and our might, we need to make sure that we're not also blocking out the light and the love that comes from the stars and from each other. So we'll continue with Hashkivenu.
Page 42.
Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot. We turn to page 46, where now that we've warmed up with each other, we've brought in a little bit of light and love into our evening, we can turn now inwards and have some time connecting on our own with the divine. So please rise, and we'll begin the Amidah together, again on page 46. And we'll stick together through the Avot, the Gevurot, and the Kedusha until page 52. And then you sort of have a choose your own adventure option. You can go at your own pace, praying the words on the page, in the Hebrew, in the English, the readings on the side, or the words of your own heart. And we'll come back together when everyone has finished and is seated.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agitehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Elohei Bilha Elohei Zilpah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor V'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Ge'ula Livnei V'neihem Lema'an Shemo Ve'ava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Maken Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai V'chayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechakeh Chaim B'Chesed Mechayei HaKol Be'rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim U'Matir Asurim U'Mekayem Emunato Lishanei Afar Michamocha Ba'Gevurot U'Mido Melech Melech Memit U'Mechayeh U'Matzmiach Yeshua V'Nemana Talachayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kedoshim B'chol Yom Yehalelucha Selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
We're going to transition into our Torah service this evening. You can turn to page 246, and we're going to open the ark.
Please rise. Ki Retzion Tetzei Torah. Ki Retzion Tetzei Torah. Udevar Adonai Birushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato. Lecha Adonai Hagedula V'Hagevura V'Hatiferet V'Hanetzach V'Hahod. Ki kol v'shamayim u'va'aretz. Ki kol v'shamayim u'va'aretz. Adonai amam lecha v'havit na'aseh lecha lerosh. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachvu l'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachvu l'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachvu l'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachvu l'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachvu l'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachvu l'har kodsho. You may be seated.
I've talked about Hanukkah a few times already tonight. I do love Hanukkah very much. And for many of us, we're looking forward to Thanksgiving before the Jewish calendar springs Hanukkah on us. So for this Aliyah, I'd like to invite up anyone who's hosting Thanksgiving this year. If you're welcoming people to your table, I'd like to welcome you up here to greet our Torah. So if that feels like a right fit for you, or if you just want to come take a look at the Torah, I'd love to have you up here. I won't know whether or not you're hosting, but it's a good opportunity to come do a mitzvah. Yeah, come on up, come on up. I guess everyone's going out of town this year.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaBarach. Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. Ve'ele toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham. Avraham holid et Yitzchak. Vayehi Yitzchak ben 40 shana. Bekachto et Rivka. Bat Betuel ha'arami. Mipadan Aram. Achot Lavan ha'arami lo leisha. Vayetar Yitzchak ladonai lanochach ishto. Ki akara hi vayatar lo Adonai vatahar Rivka ishto. Vayitrotzetsu habanim bekirbaha. Vatomar imken lamazeh anochi v'telech lidrosh et Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for joining us up here. May you have a lovely Thanksgiving. May your turkeys be delicious, your tofurkeys be edible, and all of those good things.
And with our Torah open before us, it's a moment in which we can also make a Mishaberach for those in our community in need of a speedy healing. We are thinking especially in our community of Earl Benton, Irene Borsis, Mike Capsuto, Luke Chakron, Wendy Cohen, Richard Eckelman, Christiana Garasek, Faith Hirschler, Bill Hogue, Cindy Jen, Sue Kibble, Cindy Colson, Shannon Laren, Steve Lesser, Maria Lopez, Ennis Marcus, Annette McDaniel, Sarah McRobbie, Terry O'Brien, Steve Ostrin, Susan Parker, Avi Perry, Bruce Richardson, Ron Ross, Mariah Weinberg-Schar, Maury Schulman, Mimi Spencer, Christine Wofford, Shirley Wolf, Milton B. Wolf, David Zutz, Sarah Bat Elisheva, and Esther Malkachana Bat Batya Ruth. Are there other names in the community? Please say them aloud now.
Avotenu
names we said aloud and those names that are upon your heart to be blessed with a complete and speedy healing of mind, body, and soul, as we say together.
Amen.
Amen.
We now invite up our Hagba to lift the Torah. Come on up.
And as the Torah is lifted,
We rise. I used to work with kids and teens in Chicago, eventually by teaching middle school, but first through running after-school programs across the city. One of my sites was called a selective enrollment school, which pulled from the top 5% of students across all Chicago neighborhoods. This school was supposed to give high-performing students the chance to excel academically, no matter what neighborhood they lived in, which was a great confidence boost for some, and for others was seemingly confirmation that they alone knew everything. And so after a while, the school administration put signs up in every classroom as a friendly reminder that said, given the choice between being right and being kind, choose kind. Choose kind. Given the way the past few weeks have unfolded in the Middle East and across the American psyche, and given the way that I am prone to doom scrolling and spending too much time on social media before going to sleep, I wish that I had a few of those choose kind posters today. The idea of being kind over being correct floated around me as I read our Parsha for this week. Abraham has passed away and has been buried by his two sons, Isaac and Ishmael, who miraculously reconciled in our reading last week. And now Isaac is married to Rebekah. Rebekah, like many people, struggles with fertility, and after finally conceiving, she suffers a nearly unbearable pregnancy. In the moment that we just read of great emotional and physical pain, she cries out, Im ken lama ze anochi. If this is happening, why do I exist? And God replies that there are twins in her womb destined to become leaders of enemy tribes already at war with each other. That might win the award for the least comforting thing you could say during a pregnancy. When Rebekah has sunken into extreme despair, questioning her very life, God responds not with compassion, but with fact. And it brings a sense of foreboding to the entire passage. I want to note here on the side that the God we read about in our Torah is one way of expressing God. As a character in a sacred story meant to reflect back our human, long connection with the divine. God, as written in our prayers, holds our vulnerability and compassion as is necessary when someone turns to prayer for support. But we turn to these stories to find out more about our people's struggles with each other and with the divine. And when we look at it through that lens, we can tap into a greater understanding of how our society and our relationships function. Rebekah is in a moment of pain and grief, and when those crucial feelings are not acknowledged, all she can process is the harsh truth she gets in reply. Years later, she will go on to help her son Jacob trick her other son Esau, and I wonder if it is in this moment that Rebekah is primed to find the worst in her children before they are even born. We too are now living in a time where we are primed to find the worst in others. Anti-Semitism is frighteningly on the rise, and Islamophobia is too. It seems that every day I see a new video of people getting yelled at for waving flags, yelled at for mourning loved ones, yelled at for wearing yarmulkes and hijabs, at times even escalating to yarmulkes and hijabs getting ripped off. This is tragic and frightening and unacceptable. And I fear that these videos fuel more cyclical hate. They paint American Jews and Muslims as though our lives too are an extension of a war zone, when in reality, for most Jews and Muslims, that is not the case. Most of us desperately want peace in Israel and Gaza as soon as possible. My Jewish friends and family, my Israeli friends want peace. My Muslim friends and my Palestinian friends want peace. We might disagree on how to achieve that peace, and that's okay. Israelis and Palestinians have inherited a conflict that in many ways can be traced back to the time of Isaac, with recent historical complexities added on that rival almost any other issue in the modern age. But when we stick only to the facts at hand, we boil down 3,000 years of conflict to an infographic or a slogan. And when we do that, we ignore the lives of very real people who are wrapped up in the details. And then we miss the whole point of the Torah. A few years after Rebekah gives birth, Isaac goes out in search for water for his family. And he digs well after well on land that was rightfully his, only to find that rival tribes were living there too. So Isaac does the extraordinary. He digs a different well that won't disrupt the other people, acknowledging that the land and its resources are as crucial to others as they are to his family. While I don't think that this story is necessarily a feasible blueprint for peace in the Middle East right now, I do think it can help us reframe how we view the echoes of the conflict here at home. Because Isaac empathizes with the other. Recently, the actor and activist Dylan Marone, who became well known for a podcast and now a book called Conversations with People Who Hate Me, where he talked with strangers who trolled or mocked him online, writes that empathy is not endorsement. Empathizing with someone you profoundly disagree with does not suddenly compromise your own deeply held beliefs and endorse theirs. And this, I believe, is why we turn to Torah. The Torah, for all its mythic nature, is full of facts. But we don't read it for those long lists of nations or its meandering family trees. We read the Torah for its sweeping stories, often rooted in the very human emotions of love and despair. Our sacred text and the stories within it make up a shared tradition with others around the world, made famous because of its compelling human narrative. Jews and Christians and Muslims lift up these same or similar sacred myths, not to find out exactly how old Abraham was when he died, or to look at some unbound, unstoppable connection of a family tree, although that is fascinating, but to hear the relatable stories of brothers at war, of underdogs who persevere, of broken relationships that heal through time, of the utter smallness of being human in a vast and unpredictable world. This is the core of the human experience, not just that we were once strangers in Egypt, but that everyone sometimes feels like a stranger still, simply because we are human beings. And like in the Torah, nothing will be resolved through fact after fact, number after number, argument after argument. We step closer to our sacred tradition when we step closer to the humanity in one another. We hold the facts that have brought us to this point in time, absolutely. But to move forward, we also must hold each other's pain. To move forward, we must choose to be kind. May that kindness be our rallying cry. Shabbat Shalom. We turn now to the Aleinu. Aleinu, it's on us. It's up to us to heal the world. Page 282, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula l'yotzeh b'reshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samarnu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchakenu kahem, ve'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim u'mishtochavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol ha'aretz vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, those in whom we are observing Shaloshim, and those who have departed and that we are honoring their yahrzeits this week. In our community, we are observing Shaloshim for Robert Propp, husband of Merle Carter Propp and stepfather of Wendy Sack and Russell Marcus. Charles Honigsberg, brother-in-law of Paul and Josette Schwartz. Julie Nobles, friend of Faith Hirschler. Helene Weinstock, friend of the CBT community. Stephen Shapiro, son of Sue Shapiro and brother of Ben Fishrup. And Sean Soltzer, cousin of Brian Lodge. As a reminder, when you hear the name of your loved one, you are invited to rise in their memory and their honor. We are observing the yahrzeits this week of Neil Blau, cousin of Jan Michael, Abraham Breyer, Daniel Stephen Chergel, son of Marlene Chergel Smith, Marie Cohen, Helen Eisenberg, mother of Don Eisenberg, Shanaz Helfer, sister of Shaheen Firuz Bakhsh, Harry Horowitz, grandfather of Steve Hamrill, Bertha Caskell, grandmother of Amy Caskell and mother-in-law of Jerry Caskell, Bernard Bernie Kessler, father of Honey Amato and Robin Einstein, and father-in-law of Rabbi Stephen Einstein. Abraham Jacob Clayman, father of Diane Salzman. Marianne Colson, mother of Jeff Colson. Lee Lipkiss, uncle of Leslie Wheatley. Dorothy Ingram, mother of Leslie Wheatley. Harold Sheldon Light, father of Elisa Light. Edward Morantz, Morton Olschwing, father of Alan Olschwing. Mary Olson, mother of Nancy Steiner. Julie Oster, Rose Purai, stepmother of Faith Hirschler. Philip Ross, father of Sandy Maybaum. Howard Rotter, friend of Gary Einstein. Louis Salzberg, father of Cindy Colson. Elizabeth Schramm, grandmother of Sharon Goldhammer. Florence Silverman, mother of Cantor Linda Ecker. Benjamin Simons, father of Michael Simons. Sidney Tanzer, husband of Dorothy Tanzer. Alana Renee Trifos, daughter of Jacqueline Cordova. Elise Williams, sister of Adam Williams. And Ann Wolfe, grandmother of Russell Wolfe. Are there any other names at this time for Kaddish? We ask that you now please rise in support of your mourning friends and in order to honor those who no longer have someone to say Kaddish for them. Kaddish Yatom Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 294, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'amad divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'yizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudusha b'rihu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say,
Amen.
we now welcome our representative from the Board of Directors for our announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Susan Slonim on behalf of the Board of Directors. And Shabbat Shalom to Streamland. And thank you for joining us. I would like to say thank you to Larry Slonim for being an usher. And I'd like to say thank you to Catherine Klein for her beautiful music. And you ladies are menching. And I appreciate that. Very important, the congregational meeting is Sunday, November 19th. There's a nosh at 9, and the meeting starts at 9:30. Please come and join us, and if you cannot do it in person, you may come on Zoom. We will have the Zoom going for that. And the other thing is that there's a Shabbat at home on Friday, November 24th. So the Shabbat at home prayer book can be found on our homepage. Thank you for letting me be of service.
And we thank Sue again for being our representative on the BIMA. Indeed, next week, Shabbat at Home is online only. If you come here, the doors will be shut, so please don't come. I would be sad to hear that you didn't get the news. So it is at cbtzoom.org. You will all be able to see each other's beautiful faces. The prayers we will be using, I created a prayer book. It is on our website, so you can see what we will be doing. And there will be slides projected as well, so you don't have to print it if you don't want to. It's just some people prefer something in their hands versus just seeing a screen. So many ways to interact. Join your family and friends together, have a nice Shabbos meal, relax together, and pray online the day after Thanksgiving. So we will continue or conclude this portion of our service with Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, and then we will welcome those who are 13 and under to help us with Challah after the song, or rather those who are of B'nai Mitzvah age or younger. Yes? Here we go.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
All right, Kiddush and Motzi, now you may come and join us. Jordan, you're going to be on microphone because I know that you know this blessing. Give it to Jordan, my darling, and grab that cup. Please, Jeff. Baruch
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagam.
please join us for Oneg in the social hall, and Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, I know.
Go find your young man. Well, he's wandering back.
He's okay at the moment.
All right. Much love, safe travels. Thank you. Thank you.
I need to spend a couple minutes putting my stuff away before I head back there, but I'm sure we'll be able to connect more over the coming weeks.
Yeah, and then I had another idea that involved people in the congregation, if I can solicit who have a refugee story of their own family, whether they came here themselves or their parents or their grandparents. All my grandparents were not refugees, but they were all immigrants.
Yeah, some of mine were refugees.
And,
Yes,
and
like
even
supported
though
by
they
donors.
weren't refugees in the traditional sense, one of my grandparents shouldn't have been able to get allowed out of Russia, but he somehow it was the Tsar's army.
Wow.
He's fooled that he got a dead man's papers.
Quite the story.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it was
Well, thank you for sharing. I'm
But
sure in the
that's-
coming
but
months
I
we'll be
wouldn't
able
want
to
to
connect.
have my story so much as other people's. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for sharing your ideas. Looking forward to connecting.
Yeah.
solid. That is solid, right? That is
What about the other one?
a heavy Torah, right? That is a little bit lighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the lightest one.
Yep. Yep. That's
You see? So, when some of us hold these things for 30 minutes at a time during the high holy day,
that gets to be a bit much.
no, it gets to be a bit less.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure you are, but you know,
And that's the one we passed around yesterday. Because I did think it was thick parchment when I was holding it. It's huge. It's solid.
yeah, it's solid. Yeah, you want to close the door? Go ahead. Like that. Come on, girl. Come on. There it goes. There you go.